What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode with Second Guessing with Stressin. I'm your host, Garrett Williams, aka Texans commentator. I apologize if there was some static on that intro. But yeah, today, man, we're joined by a special guest, DJ Bien-Aime, ESPN reporter for the Texans. DJ, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How you doing today, man?
I'm blessed, man. I'm, obviously we
Good.
had you on in the spring, and that was more of like a long form show where we got to know you and get to know your background. So I thought that was really cool. But obviously, all you guys, the beat reporters, been working hard. You've been out there at training camp quite a bit. So, we'll dive into that. I guess I really, don't have any other fluff to talk about. We can just talk ball. I got you for about 30 minutes. So, I mean, I guess I'll just ask you off rip. Like, is there any like overlying observations from now into from the beginning of training camp? Like one big observation?
I would say that I think I've gained a little bit more confidence in the offensive line. Like I thought at best they could be going into camp below average. I thought at best, right? I think, but now I've been seeing a little bit more. Talked to a few more guys, seeing how Cole and Nick Haley, the offense that they're trying to put together, especially in the run game that kind of fits their skill set, could lead to just a better. It's gonna be way more cohesive, right? Now, do I think they'll be like a top 10 unit? Probably not. You still need like some honchos on that. You need some, as my homeboy would call it, man, bear pigs. On that
Bear
offensive line.
pigs?
Yeah, man, he calls them man bear pig. It's
Oh
basically
man, bear pigs. That's a South Park
man bear
reference.
pig. Exactly. You
Love
know,
it.
freak athletes, things of that nature. But I think that based off of from a schematic standpoint, some of the things I've kind of seen, like I feel like they're going to be more technically sound. Obviously, drastically more technically sound, and I think that should be able to catapult them from where some of the rankings across the board, people have them 30, 31st, 32nd. That could catapult them closer to 20. Can they get past that 20? Debatable. We'll see, right? But I have a little more confidence on offensive line that they can, at the bare minimum, get to a league average unit.
Yeah, and so like I love to hear that. Obviously, the offensive line has been the biggest talk and concern for all fans. But I mean, that's been my argument, and I don't know if you agree, but my argument is if this offense can just be average, then this offense, in my opinion, could be a top 10 offense, and then we could really be a Super Bowl caliber team. Do you kind of agree with that sentiment at all? Or
If the O line is just average,
yeah,
that if the O line is average, be a top 10 offense. Average, nah, they probably need to be like above average, probably above average to good. Most of the teams across the board that are legitimate Super Bowl contenders usually have a good offensive line, at the bare minimum, some stalwarts on that offensive line. It's really rare. Like obviously, let's remove Cincinnati. Cincinnati is just such an anomaly from the picture. Most teams that are like top 10-ish have good offensive lines, because they're balanced. They're able to run the ball. They're able to throw the ball. So I would say probably need to have a good offensive line to get to top 10 because, again, this year they're going to see a lot of good defenses. So an average to below average offensive line, that's going to get exploited against some certain teams. And you'll be able to squeak by some wins, but it's going to feel similar to last year where it's like you just feel like, we need a little bit more. But, again, I feel like, I was talking to Titus Howard today, and he mentioned like that it sounds like a cliche, and I tend to not really buy into the cliches, but hearing him say like, our mentality is going to be different, right? Hearing him talk like that, having been around him for a few years, I'm like, all right, now I can believe what he's selling to an extent. Like it might not be drastically better than what it was last year. It could be way better than what it was last year, regardless. But the mindset coming in is, they're going to try to be as physical as possible. And then hearing Kaylee talk about it a little bit, how it's like, I know I don't want to simplify it, but we got to be able to move people backwards, period. And that really be an emphasis, versus like trying to get lateral and trying to trick people and all that. Like, there's only really like a few guys from that wide zone stuff that was able to really master that. That's Kubiak, that's both Shanahan's. Even McVay had to eventually abandon it, and say, all right, man, we got to get more, gap scheme, duos, inside zone, things like that, mid zone. So I think that the Texans offensive line's mentality is probably going to be a really, really big difference why they're going to drastically improve from last year.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I agree too. Like, as someone who like watches all the interviews, like you listen to him say stuff and like everything he's been saying, even though it sounds cheesy and corny and like, yeah, whatever, like it's true. Like he made a emphasis on the mentality and it has changed and you've seen it reflected with, Coach Cole Popovich. Like, maybe we're over analyzing, but when I was at practice, I saw like the O-line doing push-ups after practice. Like maybe they did it before, but like, my argument was like why the O-line could improve, which Sarah says, shout out to Sarah, it was 29th last year, and we're saying it can go to 15. Like that's a drastic improvement.
That's a drastic.
And that's through the mentality / coaching and scheme. So,
Yeah.
And I guess the other part of that too, like, so you said, and I think you make a good point, like, top 10 offenses, you have to have like an elite O-line.
Not necessarily elite, but at least like good. Like they can't be
like top 12, top 10. You can't be average. Yeah. But like, could they still be a Super Bowl contending team with an average O-line because the defense is good? No, same kind of argument for you.
Nah, because like the defenses in the AFC, like the teams you got to get through, Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City, their fronts are obviously all tenacious. So average against that isn't going to get the job done unless you're 15-2, 14-3, and you got everybody coming to Houston. Then that might change things up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know Houston at night in that dome, especially with the new speakers, it can get really rocking in there. But again, if you got to travel and you have a okay offensive line or just solid against those teams, their fronts can get after you. And we've seen before, right? Both years they lost in the division round because they kept losing in the trenches. Well, at least on the offensive side. Baltimore, they kind of beat CJ up a little bit. And obviously Kansas City, they ragdolled that whole O-line, Dalton Schultz, CJ, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think for them to get the Super Bowl, right? Because we're not talking about for them.
Yeah,
it's funny. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. This is probably the most bored I've been covering a team from May, June, July, August, because this is a team now that's everything. Only thing that matters, obviously, I still take it week by week, but only thing that matters is December, January, and late November. That's really all that matters, right? They could be 4-4 going into like, the November. They could be 5-3, whatever. They can be whatever number you want to say, right? It really comes down to how they look in December, how they look in January and late November, because that's where the expectation is for them internally and somewhat externally, So
well, that's what you want. I mean, that's like when you've kind of made it. Like all the big teams, like they'll say, they kind of care less about. Before we were the franchise that like we would like hang our hat on a regular season win. That would be our Super Bowl. So I like that. But I think we kind of see things eye to eye with all this. Like you mentioned, the schematics with the O-line, like wide zone, like it didn't fit our personnel. Like all these reasons was why Slowick was fired. And, D'Amico realized what those problems were, the inability to adapt and adjust not only to opponents, but to our own personnel. So, like, he took that lens and used it when hiring. And then when you hear Kaylee talk, that's like how he talks. And so they're all aware of what needs to happen. It seems Cole Popovich is on there. Like, but you're like, to your point, like the gap scheme alone, just like the downhill running, like, and they've been preaching this to us too, just like they've been preaching mindset. This sounds simple and cheesy and corny, but they're saying we just need to be a downhill offense, physical, simple, not lose yards, which was the big problem for us the past few years. Wide zone, running behind the line of scrimmage, tackle for loss, 2nd and long, 3rd and long. And like the one drive we saw with 2 to 3 potential starting offensive linemen and Davis Mills and some receivers, we saw exactly what they said was going to happen. Did you kind of get that take on that too? Like the benefit of having a strong run game?
Yeah, I was kind of impressed a little bit. Obviously, I don't take too much from preseason unless it was CJ's rookie year. Even last year, right? Like the preseason the offense looked pretty good with Stephon, Tank, et cetera, Nico, CJ. So I try not to take too much. 'Cause everything's Philly. It's pretty much vanilla. But the fact that they were able to be in the right spots, have the right technique, get downhill, move guys off of the ball, no matter who's in front of you, it's still the NFL. That's what you want to see, right? And you can continue to build off of that. So, you know, coming in week one, because for me, like even this joint practice, like obviously it's gonna be a good challenge, a good test, but it's still, I'm really just looking forward to week one. 'Cause I think this team, they're the type of team that, again, like the off season, especially because they didn't even really make too many like splash moves either. They kind of added some pieces on the whole line, but like the splash, they didn't really make any of those. So I'm just ready to get to week one. Like, right now everything is just kind of whatever. It's kind of bland.
Hey,
So
you and me both, man. I'm
yeah,
excited. Yeah, and so that's like a good reminder too. Like, us fans, like we live and die by the moment, like training camp. Like I've been trying to, I'm always like the voice of reason and like calm. I know some people are overreacting to like practice. Oh, CJ threw a pick, he got sacked, offense
right,
sucks. It's
right.
like, no, like there's a lot of factors in training camp where, and I'm sure from being a former receiver playing in offense
Yeah,
and going through
sure.
camps, like the advantage is definitely to the defense. Like offense
Always.
keeps it simple. You only work on, 3, 4, 5 plays a day at a time, and you run the same stuff over and over.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like people have realized now they saw the game, and then you kind of hear practice. So it's nice to get that behind us. But I got to address this. I'm sure you're cool with talking about it, but obviously
Sure.
there was the whole drama with the Stroud injury.
I don't even know how that
Um,
became drama.
yeah, and so like you tweeted something, and I don't think that you tried to tweet something specific, or even you just saw what you just said that CJ was consoled by Schultz, and then to me, like I guess I'll say what I observed, and you kind of just say what it is. But
Mhm.
like my take is like people see a tweet and take it and extrapolate it and make it something that it's not, or
Right.
whatever. I don't think that you didn't say he was crying or any of that. Like, what's your whole take
No,
on
I
all
didn't
that
even
stuff?
I didn't even say it was crying. I just say Dalton consoled him. Like Dalton went and hugged him and gave him some words of encouragement. Because CJ wears his heart on his sleeve, and like CJ, I didn't see CJ crying. Um, but again, CJ wears his heart on his sleeve, and he cares a lot about his guys. And I think one thing people don't realize as much is Brevin is like one of the most popular guys on the team. Like I think if I had to rank it, obviously CJ's one. But Brevin's for sure in the top five, right? Like obviously Tank was up there too, but Brevin's easily in the top five, like across the board. Which is why like he could tear his ACL in week 2 of 2024 and get an extension, right? Because of what he just brings from a locker room perspective, right? Like he has a great energy about himself, like you rarely ever see him not with a smile, right? He's always positive. He always has great energy. So, and people know what he had to overcome to get to this point, right? And again, because he got drafted in 2021, so he's kind of been with the Texans through most of the turmoil, right? And has been able to see it through and get on the other side. And he has a lot of experience through that. And again, people love him on this team. So I think like I saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson go down, and I seen Brevin Jordan go down. Two different reactions, right? Like C.J. Gardner, because they both of them, to be fair, they both look like season-ending injuries, right? C.J. got blessed. Brevin, obviously, he's out for the year, but like the reaction was just totally different, right? Like, now don't get me wrong, like people still took knees, ran up to CJ, blah blah blah. But Brevin, it was like somebody died
He's
at the
also been on
hospital.
the team longer too. CJ Garner Johnson's been
Yeah,
here for a couple months.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and then hearing him cry as if he was at a funeral. Like I think you factor all that in. Like most people, there are even some big reporters on the sideline. I ain't none of us cry per se, but
Yeah.
you could feel the emotions in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So I won't. CJ wasn't crying, but he was getting consoled because like that's
Yeah.
what the teammate's supposed to do. And people got to remember he threw the pass that Trevor went up for. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Like
good point. So you kind of
yeah,
feel
like it's not
responsible
like it's
for it.
not like CJ was had to be consoled when let's say Brevin was just jogging on the sideline and got hurt. No, like I think what a lot of us forget is like when Tank got hurt and Brevin got hurt, CJ threw both of those passes, right? So
That's a
like
good
he
point.
probably feels some of that internal, you know,
That's how
fair
most
enough.
quarterbacks are, right? Like, wasn't there
Yeah,
one of the quarterbacks, like a veteran or quarterback? Well, this is different though. They were hospital balls, but he was like considering retirement, right? I forget who, like Carson Palmer or somebody. He's like, I can't do this
yeah,
anymore, or Kurt Warner
right,
or somebody like that.
exactly. Like again, like he's probably thinking, and I'm not speaking for him, but if I'm in this shoe, he's probably thinking if I got that ball down a little bit more, he don't got to jump for it, and his knees still fine. You know what I'm saying? So like
That's a great point. And
it's little
so
things.
the route was a seam route, and it was a touchdown.
Yeah,
Like he was open, but he
yeah.
just
I don't know
landed
if it
on
would have
his
been.
leg awkwardly, or
I don't know if it would have been a touchdown, but like it was a seam pass. He was just going up for the pass. It was high, so he jumped up for it, and we just came down. I mean, it was weird. It was like it was as routine as it gets. Like
non-contact though.
yeah, like I could do
Yeah.
it right. I could show y'all right now. I don't feel like doing it because my Achilles been sore, and I don't want to pop my Achilles on a live stream. But again, it was just he just going. He went up and he came down, and then like something just gave out. So
But you made a
I
couple
mean,
good points too. Like it's similar
yeah,
to Tank in the sense, not from the reaction. I don't know because I wasn't at either physically, but like from the sense that he was coming back from an injury. Like
yeah,
Tank had rehab for a whole year. Him and
yes,
CJ are tight. Like they're both really
yes,
tight. And
yes.
Brevin is like he seems to be a guy that's big in his faith, and CJ is too. So they're probably super close through all
Reverend and
that.
CJ go to the same church.
Yeah. So I mean, it's more than just like a teammate. That's like a brother, And we
Yeah.
know how CJ is. And as
Yes.
far as like, so I just wanted you to be able to clear up. I know like people speculating, and I never thought that the way you worded stuff meant what people thought or that it was intentional. Like you know how stuff kind of gets out of hand. And then as far as like speaking on the other side of it, everyone has their opinion. I mean, I think you and I and most people feel the same. Like, you know, I'm not going to knock a guy for caring about his teammates, and I'm not going to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
extrapolate that into him being not a good leader. To me, like that means you care for your teammate, it means you're a good leader. I mean, do you want to speak on that at all, or is that even worth discussing?
I mean, like if you feel like CJ crying
Which
is
he didn't do at practice, but
or
still,
like
let's just
yeah,
say
yeah,
he,
my
yeah.
bad, my bad, my fault. If you feel like
No, no,
CJ
no,
being
no, you're good. But
yeah,
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 you're,
yeah. If
yeah.
you feel like CJ being emotional is a sign of weakness, then you probably haven't been in enough fires where it's like you on a team where these are like truly your brothers and you gonna ride and die with them all the way through. Like I can't again, I've played sports, obviously JUCO played football, D1 ran track. I have an idea of what those brotherhoods feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like there's guys from my last JUCO team I still talk to this day. There's guys I ran track with that I
Mm-hmm.
still talk to this day. Like I had a homeboy. Well, he's not my homeboy. Let me make that very clear. He's not my homeboy. But I had a teammate of mine who I was tight with at the time. We kind of faded away a little bit, cause just life or whatever. But he
Yeah.
just got arrested for something. He got arrested for something crazy, like something really really crazy, and like that broke my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like he tried to take his life, all that, and like that legitimately broke my heart that he, was in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
I'm not comparing apples to apples, but I'm just saying like when you have that type of connection with people that you show up to work or show up to practice with every single day, multiple times out the week, like y'all spend your whole lives together. When you see them end up in a situation where there's injury, off the field, whatever, like it can make you emotional. So I don't think CJ being emotional when he see guys go down or whatever is anything. Like, that don't mean that shows that he is a leader in all honesty. So sometimes you gotta be able to show that you're vulnerable, right? And that makes people want to gravitate more towards you.
Yeah, I agree, and I think most people agree. And it is what it is. If people want to have the opposite, like I don't get upset about it. Like whatever. I mean, everyone has their
Right.
own opinion, but yeah, we got a lot of questions on the O line. I
Yeah.
guess real quick, engineer asked about Blake Fisher. What are your thoughts on him? It seems like he's regressing. Y'all kind of observing the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think Blake's biggest thing is kind of like what Kenya's biggest problem was. I think, both of them kind of got to realize, Kenya's gone now, but Blake also got to realize, you gotta be a pro, right? Like you gotta truly be a pro. And for him, it's just attention to detail, right? Like ain't no reason why you false starting in practice and you false starting in games, right? Like it's just those little minute details, you know what I'm saying? So I think for him, like for real, the worst thing that could have happened for him last year was getting drafted to the Texans, not because the Texans were a bad situation, but because Chris Schroster, I don't want to say he kind of checked out, but like that's what a lot of people that I talked to kind of got that impression. Not he checked out, but he was just kind of going through the motions, right?
I mean, other reporters have said that on the show and
Yeah,
like
so it's
on the
like
timeline. So
right, so like, which is why you kind of saw problems kind of never ever truly get fixed. Now that just kind of speaks to the chain from OC to O line coach to O line, all that. That was just a broken chain or whatever. But Blake kind of need to be in a situation where, like, if he's, and I'm not saying he wasn't getting coached, he was getting coached, but just like really making sure he's sharp on his attention to details, consistently across the board. And, you know, I see someone actually gonna get cut. He's not gonna get cut. Like, that's not happening.
yeah,
Right.
I
Like,
mean, maybe try and trade him, but what's the trade market going to be, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like you maybe might get a fifth, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean,
that's got to be hard to stomach. I know, like, you don't want to like hang on to your ego, but like getting rid of a second and him still being that young. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like you kind of see it through at that point. You at least went to the end of year 3 to see, you know what I'm saying?
but
So
also last year too, I think it's also relative, and maybe you can answer this as a question I had. But like last year, like our perception the O line was terrible when he came in. Like he probably didn't play great. He played decent. Had some good moments, some bad moments, but overall, we're like we can deal with this from what we had seen. And
right.
so maybe like now as our expectations higher, and then maybe now we have more depth and better options. Like maybe maybe we're expecting more out of him. Like has he regressed, or like have our expectations gotten higher and the depth gotten better?
I don't think he necessarily. I mean, yeah, because either you get better, or you regress. So there's no really in between. Nobody really stays the same.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, probably like we're didn't progress enough because in reality, it should have been him and Ariante, fighting for the tackle spots, right?
Hmm.
Now, granted, if Cam misses time, Blake could go at right tackle, but even then, like they just moved Ariante to left tackle and then just kick Titus out the right tackle. They just have Juice going at right guard or at Ingram at right guard. So I think that he's gonna have to lock in some more. You know what I'm saying? Really have
Yeah.
to like be what's the word? It's really I'm just leave it at he gonna really lock in because ain't no reason why you going in year 2, you're not you're no longer a rookie. Okay, you're going in year 2 that you should be getting your spot took ish by a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like you played in playoff games, you played in division around playoff games, and you kind of getting your spot took by a rookie. Like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I agree. And then like something else too that I've thought about and other fans have talked about and brought up, but like how much of this too is like we drafted O lineman for a different scheme. Like we talked about a wide zone scheme
Yeah.
where it's more
Right.
agile, quick, cerebral guy. So like was Fischer drafted to be in the wide zone scheme? Now he's, asked to do more of the gap blocking. Same with Scruggs. Like is that some stuff to kind of consider as well?
I think that's more applicable to Juice because Juice doesn't really drive guys off of the ball very
Mm,
well. So I think that's more of a Juice thing. Blake, I think Blake can play in multiple. It's not like I don't think he can't play in multiple type of schemes. He has the right body type. It's not like a sloppy, sack of potatoes. He can move well. He can drive guys off the ball. I think it's just him. It's just more like the attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? And being a pro. Like truly just being a pro. Like Ariate has that pro presence about him, right? He look like he about
insane,
business
dude.
all the time. Blake has to like get to that point to where not that it's always about business per se. You have to look
He
about
seems like he's a little younger for some reason. Like he seems like
yeah,
he's got
yeah,
like
like
baby
yeah,
fat on him. Like maybe he's still a little
yeah, for
immature. Like
sure, for
maybe is he
sure.
younger? Like I need to look that up.
Nah, I think he came in at 21, but I think it's for him. It's just more like because for me, if you're false starting mental errors, that's just you not being a pro. In all honesty,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you at the highest of highest levels, like those type of mistakes. Nah, like now I can live with a rookie running the wrong route or whatever. I can live with that, right? Like, but
Learning curve stuff.
yeah, but like a second year player, false starting, stuff like that. It's like, come
Well,
on.
given the position too, like it's all on the table for you, like battling for it all. Like you can't have it in that moment, especially.
Right. Right. And then again, if you're going to false start here and there or whatever, at least, hold up against Will. You know what I'm saying? I get it's Will. Will's great, but like you're gonna also see other great pass rushers. Like every team want a great pass rusher,
That's a good
so you're
point.
gonna see those guys. And you gotta remember, most times people, not granted, guys move around, but a lot of times people put their edge rusher on over the best ever over the right tackle. because they
Or
want to
whatever
kind
the weak link is, like Steve
yeah,
Spagnuolo, like a good defensive coordinator is going to hunt out the weakness and attack.
exactly. So I
What do they
mean,
say? You're only as good as your weakest link, I believe, is like a saying.
yeah,
Um,
literally.
but I guess so we're like 25 minutes in. How are you on time? You got like
I,
another 10
I
minutes,
probably got,
5 minutes?
I probably got like another 15.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Because I'll do like another conversation on offense and pivot to defense. But like overall, what have you observed from Kaylee's scheme? I guess some of the stuff I've seen without trying to say too much, and maybe you can like attest or expand on. But like it seems there's a concerted effort to get the ball out quick, more quick game. It's
hmm
obviously CJ Stroud has more control,
right.
more motions, and then with all that being said, like I was preparing myself to see a lot of messy operations, but like, from what I've heard and what I saw and watch y'all report and watching the games, like they seem to be running operationally pretty dang smooth. So like, what's your
Yeah,
sense on
yeah.
all that stuff?
Yeah, I would say operation wise, I haven't really seen too many issues. Like you don't really see too many false starts. You don't necessarily see now. Granted, holding all that, like we can't see that deep into the play, but I would say operationally, it seems smooth. Obviously, a lot more quick game. And not trying to have CJ hold the ball too long. It feels more Patriots-ish than necessarily like Rams-ish. Now, granted, like as Kelly said, that they're just trying to figure out what they're good at overall, and then just kind of evolve from there. But it feels more Patriots-ish, and that makes sense. Like Nick Kelly was
Yeah.
in New England, I
Fullback,
believe.
Jakob Johnson balling, dude,
Right,
right?
right. Apparently, he's cousin with one of my homeboys from Louisville. Apparently, I don't know how, but well, he told me how, but that's not here nor there. But again, yeah, again, like I think he was in New England for a while, so it makes sense that at least his foundation is going to have more Patriot principles. So we'll see. And again, I like the fact that CJ has more responsibility. I feel like for you to be able to win when it matters most, your quarterback has to have that. Because it's kind of hard to, I don't want to use the word hold their hand the whole way through it, but it's kind of hard for the OC to be that um, heavy handed and you be
Hmm.
able to win when it matters most.
You
And
got
I
to
think
trust your players at some point, right? You
yeah,
can't just,
yeah,
they
and that's
have to
not
play the game.
right, exactly. And obviously Kyle Shanahan, they've been able to get pretty far. And I'm not saying they haven't gotten over the hump yet,
But
but
they have a
let's
damn good run game, which we didn't have.
yeah. So like he's probably the only one where like you can get really far with that metric. I mean, obviously the Packers have gotten far, but they had Aaron Rodgers, right? That's a little different, right? But all in all, though, I like the fact that CJ has a little more control because you're gonna have to make those checks because you got to be the coach on the field also. Like you have to be able to like put everybody in positions to be able to succeed at this point.
Hmm.
Like because you got to think about it, if he plays well this year, you're gonna get close to 60 million, maybe over 60 million per year, blah blah blah. Like at that point, like all the excuses go out the window, right? Like people are going to look at you differently, in that sense. It's like, hey, does your team win or did the team lose? Fair or not, but that's just how it's going to go, right? Like Trevor in Jacksonville, he got his big contract. Ain't nobody was trying to hear about the O-line not this, they had coach not this,
Facts.
blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, this is what you got going on, The only quarterback that gets bail is Justin Herbert, and I don't know why. But
Wild.
everybody
I
else,
agree.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
so
Like
crazy, bro.
I was listening to the Herd today, and I heard, no pun intended, um, Jason McIntyre say when they're talking about Justin Herbert, because like some of the rankings or whatever on the Athletic, Jason McIntyre was like he only threw three picks in the entire regular season. I'm like, you really gonna give up the fact he threw four in the
How
playoffs?
many
Like,
throw in the game against the Texans?
yeah, but that go back to my point though that like
Yeah.
he gets a lot
Yeah.
of bail, but he's the only quarterback I think that gets that type of bail, right? Like
Oh, it's
I
wild,
don't
man.
understand why. But again, like back to CJ, him having more control over the entire offense. Even if he stumbles early on, that's only gonna make him better down the line.
And have you noticed, like, observed, like, him making more checks and IDing the mic, like the actual inner workings of that at practice?
Yeah. No, I've seen some of it. But again, like I'm not gonna really know until the bullets are truly flying, where you're gonna
Yeah.
be able to truly see because there's a lot going on in practice consistently. At least when
Mhm.
it's all 22, I'll be able to like rewatch a play over and over and over and over again, and then ask questions when I'm in the locker room, right? Because I think that's probably, one thing that I love to do is that part. Like, all right, because I don't really care to give my opinion on like these particular plays, right? I want to know what the players are thinking what the design of this was supposed to be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like that's to me the most important thing. That's the best information I can give back to my audience.
Yeah, it's hard to do. Like, obviously, again, we can only, work with what we get as fans, whether it's like a clip from whoever, and we can sit there and overanalyze it. But, like,
Right.
that's just what we believe from those angles. But, like, all 22, you can get a better picture. So,
Right.
and I enjoyed that too. Like, for example, was like the Mills throw to Stover. Like, when I saw it, like, the way I saw it was like that looked like a miscommunication. And, like, my interpretation was that was Stover's fault for not widening his seam away from the safety. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
I was able to see that on the all 22. But,
Right.
I guess we can transition to defense. We could.
Yeah.
It sounds like offense. We want to talk about all day. Defense. Where would you say that you would have them ranked now and what they can be, and just your observations overall from defense in camp?
I think the floor for the defense is top 10. I think the ceiling is 1.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think this defense they might be incredible. I'll be
And what do you
honest.
think about this? I've been saying I think they have a chance to be historically great if they
Nah, you
stay
tripping.
healthy. I'm tripping. Okay. All right.
Historically great, yeah, nah, you tripping.
I don't know, man. But like, but part of my take is it requires the offense to be competent for that to happen. Because you look at games like the Lions
Nah,
last year,
see,
5 picks.
exactly. Historically great defense don't need the offense. The Broncos
That's
historically
fair,
great,
but
they need the
it
offense.
helps too, though.
It does help, but when you that great, when we talk about historic, you don't need the offense. 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens,
That's
let's go
fair.
on and on. You don't need the offense because you just that dominant. Like I think the Seahawks in 2013 with Legion of Boom, they could have probably still won the Super Bowl or at least got close to that, even if the offense was a quarter off, not quarter, but a third of what it actually was in 2013
Mhm.
because they were just that dominant. So no. Historic, here's the thing, like
That's big talk.
it is big talk. Now don't get me wrong. I think they could have three. They could have 3 to 4. They could have 3 to. Well,
All
I doubt they'll
pros?
get 4 Pro Bowlers in the secondary, but they could have 3 to 4 guys
How
have
many
Pro Bowls
all
that
pros
season.
can we get? I was going through this like variants, like Sting, obviously. Could Kalen Bullock be
Probably
an all pro?
3. Yeah, the guys I would say is Kalen, CJ, not CJ, it's Kalen, Sting, and probably
Will,
Daniil.
Daniil, and
Daniil.
Kamari.
I think what hurts Will is like Will, because some of it's a popularity contest, unfortunately,
Facts.
and the market that y'all in, unfortunately, is not as promising as other
Mhm.
markets, so that hurts y'all a little bit. I would say that Daniil has made it before, so people kind of already know who he is. Um, and yeah, I would say it's probably like Will would have to get like 15, 16 sacks. But if he gets that, then yeah, he can make it. But even then, like it's kind of tricky sometimes. I've seen guys get like 14 and not make it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Grenard got 12 and a half and he didn't make a Pro Bowl, right? And but if he was in New York, 12 and a half, he would have made it because Jermaine Johnson, I want to say in 2023, made the Pro Bowl. He had 8.5 sacks as an alternate, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, a
But
lot of that
you're
plays.
also competing with those stats with your teammates too. So it's like only so many on a team can be Pro Bowl and or on the same defense or all pro, right? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But I'm sorry, finish your thought.
yeah. So, but I do think they could be one though, bro. I do think they could be one. I think that yeah, that defense looks incredible. I think really what takes it to that next level is the emergence of Kamari. Like as much as people always say, pass rush, pass rush, pass rush, like pass rush and coverage go hand in hand, man. Like if you can make the quarterback hold the ball for 3 seconds longer, that's when pass rush can feast. Cause it really doesn't matter if you get the ball out in 2.5 seconds. Like you gotta think about it. Like the guy gets off and he engages or he tries to make somebody miss. That's like a second and a half. You need that extra time to be able to get to the quarterback. So Kamari's emergence is one that's like, okay, if he can be locks like the way he's been, because if y'all have noticed, I know y'all have noticed, y'all haven't seen that many tweets of Nico Collins big play. Y'all haven't seen that many tweets throughout training camp, and that's because of Kamari. Like in all honesty, So the fact that Kamari looks like he's taking another step, that could take the Texans. That's gonna help take the Texans defense to another level. Because you already know people are gonna try to avoid Sting because he takes the ball away. And so people are going to try to go at Kamari, and he's going to be able to have a Pro Bowl type season. Really, what's going to make or break the secondary? Not make or break per se, but like I would say make or break in terms of being 1 or being 5 or 7, especially from a pass coverage standpoint. It just depends how better Petrie can get at coverage, right? Like, because I think teams are going to pick on him because it's like Amari's clamps, Stingley's clamps, so we're going to just try to attack in the slot. So, but I'm sure D'Amico and Matt Berg will be able to put Jalen in positions to where he's not in compromised positions and he can make plays.
That's what I've been saying. So, like, to me, like, Petrie is basically the third linebacker, and we try to keep him in on early downs, more so in the run game, but competent enough in the pass game. But you try and avoid those ambiguous downs where it's, 3rd and 3, 2nd and 5, where it may be run or pass. And then maybe if it is a known 3rd and long, you take him out. Or you blitz him and you hope the pass rush gets home, right? I mean,
right.
Yeah, so I think that's a great observation.
Just don't leave him one-on-one with Devontae Adams.
Hey, I mean, but like that goes for a lot of people too, though.
Yeah,
especially in the slot.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure, exactly.
But
no,
you're
a lot of people, but it's like don't put.
no, but you're right to bring that up. But yeah, just on Petrie though, like I feel like he's an X factor. And I don't know, like, what are your thoughts on him, like playing that star, nickel role where he's basically a linebacker and he allows D'Amico to move him around and blitz him, delayed blitz, all that stuff. Like, have you noticed them doing much of them on defense? And what do you expect his role to be this year? Kind of same like it was last year?
Yeah, same like it was last year. I think Petrie, yeah, he's sure an X factor because he's a playmaker towards the line of scrimmage, and again, like he has that tenacity that can help set the tone. I get it. Some of the things sound cliche-ish, but it does matter. Like, do you have a tone setter, right? Like, as Sarah just put in the comments, like she said, we need Joe Mixon back ASAP. We need more tone setters on offense. Like, that tone setting does actually matter. Guys kind of feed off of that, and like I feel like to piggyback on that comment and touch on the offense quickly, but go back to defense. That's one thing I would say the offense is missing a little bit is that tone setter. They don't have a Barker. They don't have a like. CJ's been more mellow.
Like Stephon Diggs last year was that guy,
right? They missed Steph strictly for that. Steph brought a whole another side of competitive nature that I have never seen from a player before, ever. Like, ever.
That's insane.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been covering the league for about 5 years now. Like, dude, I haven't. If I had to rank my competitors, he's easily one. And I can see, the offense can use that. But back to the defense, Petrie has that mindset. Aziz has that mindset, right? Amari's made me like appreciate tackling corners way more. He just needs to stop slapping his head because I don't want him to get like I don't want him with the man to get concussed because the way he be hitting his head, man, it's like, come on, bro. Like, but again, like,
bro, my
my
2-year-old daughter, when she gets mad, that's what she does. She just starts hitting herself.
Exactly.
Every time I see that, I laugh. I'm like, that's like Kamari, bro.
That's Kamari, man. So I would say Petrie, the role. I mean, it's gonna be kind of similar. I don't think they want him too deep, away from the box. Clearly, right? They moved him to nickel for a reason, and even with the injuries to Jimmy Ward, the injuries to CJ, they still kind of keep him in that same spot. So I think they want to keep him line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you don't want him in the post with a high safety, in my opinion. We saw how that was. Even though we had a bunch of picks the first year as Lovey, but I mean, he's best utilized down in the box, right? I mean, Well, I know you're getting close on time. I think what we'll do is I'll just do some rapid fire questions, and you can just kind of give me some like quick snippets so we can cover some, as much as we can before you have to go. But I guess just like on the injured guys, I'll just name off names and just tell me thoughts if what you know, don't know. CJ Gardner-Johnson.
I mean, they trying to get him back for week 1. I mean, it's good that he's not out much longer. But it could be maybe after week 1, maybe like week 2, maybe week 3. But he's not gonna be out like that long. I'd be shocked if he starts the season on the PUP.
Have y'all seen him around the building or heard about that at all? Is he in the facility?
No, I haven't really seen him. I haven't seen him at practice, rehab, or anything like that. But he's probably just getting around the clock treatment at this point. Okay. He's not anybody to worry about.
What about Jalen Reed? I know it was an ankle, and then it was reported today he had a brace on.
He had a brace on his knee, so we saw him today. He had a brace on his knee, so I mean,
but moving around just fine.
No, he was. I mean, moving around fine. Like, people be using that phrase for like Tank, like, oh man, Tank walking just fine. Well, hey, like if I broke both of my legs right now, I promise you in a couple weeks I could walk. I could fake my walk. My homeboy, he popped his Achilles last year, and around my birthday time, he could sure fake, make it look like he looks okay, but
Damn,
he
bro.
sure couldn't move when it was time for him to move. But yeah, I mean, I would say he had a brace around his knee. Obviously, he was in street clothes. So we'll see on that front. Like, I don't, because he's been hurt
Yeah.
for a couple weeks now. So,
And
but they
they're
could use
probably
him there.
not dying to get. I mean, they could, but like also like he's a rookie. Like, would they have thrusted him in there? But I mean, yeah, I mean,
Nah, so
what
I think the person that's gonna get thrusted in there is potentially that could get thrust in there is Russ Yeast.
Russ
That's it.
Yeast over MJ Stewart?
If it was me, like MJ, you know you're gonna get, but if it was me, I think I'd probably
More
see
upside with Yeast.
what. Yeah, I think the more upside with Yeast. Yeah, I think the more upside. I think he also like brings that like tenacious attitude. Also, he's probably tried to start the most fights on the defenses so
Russ
far.
Yeast?
Yeah, without question. Yeah,
That's what's up. Hey, and I
yeah,
saw him in the game too. Like I was watching some All 22 earlier. Like he was kind of flashing. Like he was hitting dudes. Like
yes, yeah.
he's
He's
physical.
playing like he think this is his last chance to be in the NFL. Now, I don't think that's the case. It's not.
Yeah.
But that's how he's playing. He's playing like he think he gonna get cut. So he's giving it
D'Amico
all.
likes guys like that that
Yeah,
are underdogs.
yeah. Like obviously they trust MJ a little bit more, right? They've
Yeah,
been
he's
with him
like the
more
steady
years,
Eddie, reliable, get lined up. Yeah.
right? But I think Russ could give you just a little bit more, But the Texans, they've shown they can put anybody at safety. We've seen them going to Cincinnati
And
and
they're
have
versatile too.
I forgot who that dude name was. He had number 30. Everybody on the beat, we just called him number 30.
Bro, that was the guy we signed like but like they signed him because he knew the defense and because we were getting guys in there who were getting burnt because they weren't lining up right. What was his
Yeah,
name? Number
I
30,
forgot.
yeah.
Yeah, but I forgot his name. Like I'm sure
And he
somebody found.
played decent because he at least
Yeah,
was in
I
the
think he
right
even caught a
spot.
pit. I think
God,
he
what
caught
was
a
his
pit
name? Oh
against
man.
the Bengals. But I forgot his name.
Someone in the
But
chat tell us who that was, number 30.
we
It
just
wasn't.
called him on the beat. We just called him number 30. Because
Yeah.
somebody interviewed him for a one-on-one, and I don't know why we just started calling him number 30. But yeah,
That's
so
funny.
like a lot of
But what
guys.
about Jalen Mills?
I mean that wouldn't be bad. I mean, he played in the scheme a little bit because he was with the Jets last year.
Yep.
Saleh, Jeff
Yep.
Ulbrich. So I mean, I think that could that'd be fine because he's a veteran. I wouldn't mind that. Like to be like, if I'm choosing between those three, I'd probably go Jalen Mills. But I'm choosing between MJ and Russ. I'm going Russ.
Gotcha.
Because I think
And it seems that
upside.
Mills kind of has like that swarm mentality too, right? Like I don't know if we were able to notice that quite yet, or
Yeah, nah, but I mean, he again like he.
there it is.
Like,
DeAndre Houston Carson, shout out
there we
engineer. That's
go.
who it is.
Yep. DeAndre Houston Carson, number 30. Yeah, no, I would say. I mean, we haven't really seen that much from Mills. I mean, I'll be lying. I'm like, yeah, man. He's been flying around. He looking good. Like, nah, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, we ain't really seen
Yeah, that's why we like you, man. Like you'll give us like someone like me. I want to hear all this crazy stuff. Like I'm gonna tell you how it is, whether you like it or not. All right, well, yeah, just a couple more injuries, and I'll get through just a couple names just to get opinions on.
Yep.
But Joe Mixon, anything on him? Same old.
Man, here's the thing, right? Joe hasn't practiced. He didn't practice in OTAs. He didn't practice in minicamp. So he, how many handoffs has he taken from CJ since the playoff game? Probably less than 10. You know what I'm saying? So, and he got hurt away from the facility. Yeah. So I'm not. Like the difference is when he was hurt last year, he had a calf. We still saw him at practice rehabbing. Right?
That's a good point.
We rarely. I have not seen Joe Mixon.
That's bizarre.
You know what? The last time I've seen Joe Mixon was. So I tell you about. He probably did, do some offseason stuff with the Texans. Cause I did remember seeing him after a April practice.
Mm-hmm.
Because he saw me and Sarge walking across the street, seeing us at the light, rolled down his window. He said, "What up, though?" Because Joe's great. Joe's great to talk to. So obviously he was there then. But in terms of like practicing with the team consistently, like OTAs, when he came, like we just haven't seen it that often. And again, like we barely see him around. So I'm not too sure. Like, I'm not that optimistic. Like, I would love for him to be back because Joe.
Yeah.
Joe's like fun to cover, and again, like he brings that, I guess, as you would y'all call it, the swarm mentality to the offense.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point you brought up. Like, Diggs brought that to another level, but like
Yeah,
now Joe's like, we need you back for that,
yeah,
like that shit
sure.
talking mentality, bro.
Right,
Yeah, the attitude, I guess what you can call it. But
No, it matters, man. Like you need some people that on your offense or your defense that you ain't gonna see in church. It's simple as that.
yeah.
You need some
And
people
that's what
like that.
offense has been lacking, right? Like defense has a plethora of it, and
Yeah,
offense
yeah.
has
That's one
had
thing offense is lacking. It's like they need a guy that you gotta check your phone at 12 o'clock and make sure check their location, make sure they're home because they make sure they're not in jail. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. You need those type of guys on offense too.
maybe
Where it's
Stover
like,
can step into that role. I mean, I don't he's
man,
not much of a talker though.
only place you're gonna see Stovik at outside the field is maybe a farm. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Oh
only place.
yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. You're not just yeah. I mean, because I know he's been chopping it up or being chippy with
Yeah,
CJ, GJ, and then
yeah. No,
I get your
I
point
like
though.
Cade though. I like
You
Cade
need
though.
someone who's like about that, yeah, the
Yeah, I like
intimidator.
Cade though. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, a couple other, I guess, injuries. DP and Harris came back. Anything to note on that? I mean, it seems like they're just slowly being
Harris is
ramped
running
up.
with the ones.
How do you? It was in
Yeah.
a walkthrough or no, or
Yeah.
today or
Harris has been
was
running
yet?
with the ones. Since he's
How
been
did it
back,
look?
he's been running with the ones. How do you look? Like he looks springy. Like he looks sideline to sideline. Like I thought they would possibly let Henry, hold that spot down a little bit more, but Harris is bad. They got him with the ones.
It's his
That
job
kind
to
of
lose. What it sounds like, right? I mean, if
yeah,
he just
yeah,
performs
yeah. Which
bad.
is again, I'm like, okay, hey, get how you live, Henry. I mean, get how you live, Christian, because like Christian, there's just like if you had to put, okay, you got EJ Speed, you got Christian, you got
Mm-hmm.
Henry. So I know I only have two hands. So stay with me. This middle hand is Christian. This is
Yep.
EJ Henry. Like if I had to put their ceilings right, I'll put Henry's like right here, EJ Speed right here, but Christian's like way up here. In
Yep.
terms of like that ceiling,
Yeah.
it's just like you don't know if he's going to be
Consistency.
healthy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well,
but I
also,
get
like,
it.
I think it's also like consistency too. Like,
Yeah.
obviously healthy, but like he's shown flashes, but like even when he's played, but it's been such a small sample size.
Right. So,
But
but DP back. I'm kind of interested to see like not when do they pull the plug on the Nick Chubb experiment? Because I don't think it's necessarily got to pull the plug. I think it's more like Damien has a little bit more juice at this point. I'm curious just to see what Nick looks like in the actual game because the
mhm.
way he runs, it's hard to like tell like would he have gotten a lot of yards in a real game off of that play.
Yeah,
But
because even though they're in full pads, they're not going to the ground. They kind of just
right,
thud.
right. I think Damien, we could see a little bit of 2022 because the scheme fits him better.
Facts.
But we just kind of see it come together. You know what I'm saying? So
Almost like Harris too. You got inconsistent, healthy. It's kind
yeah,
of the same
exactly,
story, right?
exactly. Because like Damien hasn't really hooped for real on a week-to-week basis since 2022. We in 2025. So what you did in 2022 just really don't matter. And we see him struggle so much in 2023. So before he has some moments, but like obviously like it didn't really fit him for long. But only games he got off though. Like, I know the Pacers game they for sure went the more gap scheme, and obviously he had the runs that he had. So I'm curious to see. Like I had someone DM me ask me like, is it a bad bet to have Damian Pierce touchdown? He's like plus 900 for a touchdown, then like plus like 4,500 for like two touchdowns in a game on week one. I said I don't think that's a terrible bet. I ain't telling it's a good one
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, we got to see how this shakes out. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'll just real quick, just a couple names. We
yeah,
keep going long. We just like talking ball. I try to get a simple answer, but you're like me. It's like you got a lot to say. So,
I do got a lot to
um,
say.
but yeah. So real quick, just a couple names. EJ Speed.
What about him?
Just just tell me a couple
I
thoughts.
mean, like I feel like EJ Speed cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a quality. It's a quality player to have in your core. But again, like who are you taking off the field to put EJ Speed on the field for? You taking Harris off, you taking Henry off, you
Hmm.
taking Dillon off. Like I think on three down linebackers, I could see him in, but you know, you can have Henry Toto in also. So like it's good competition there.
Yeah,
But
crowded.
main linebackers is Aziz and I mean we'll see if Harris can stay healthy. But it's clear that they give him every chance.
Aziz and Henry, and then it's Harris's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess like we're good on players. I guess the one question will be, and I don't know what you think. This is kind of curious to me. Obviously, there's a joint practice tomorrow, which I'll be at. I'll try and come say what's up afterwards. But is we expect the ones to get ample reps in that, but then we turn around and play the game on Saturday. So like, if we play ones tomorrow, are they going to play in the game? Like, how have you heard anything, or what are your thoughts on how that's going to shake out?
Yeah, that's for sure playing the game because you got to remember,
You think they'll get reps in this and then also play? Because normally the second game is like the middle game.
They're not going to play the third game.
Yeah.
So they're
But
going to.
then we have joint practice the next week too, prior with the Lions, right?
Yeah. So that would kind of be like the de facto third, like another preseason ish ramp up game, and they won't play in the third game. But again, like they're going to play in the second game at least a little
Probably
bit.
like a half, right? I mean, because normally that middle.
I don't think it'd be a half. I don't think it'd be a half.
Because normally it's about a half, right, for most teams, like that middle game. But maybe because of the scrimmage.
That's more like the older line of thinking. I think the Texans, they're gonna just play them boys a little bit, and that's gonna be that. Like,
maybe a quarter.
Remember, I think last year, CJ only played he played that one drive against the Steelers, and then he played like a quarter against I want to say the Giants, and that was it. He didn't play a whole half. So I think it'll be the same. It's gonna be the same thing this go around.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, yeah, man, it's been fun. As always, man, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate the friendship and you chopping it up. I should have mentioned earlier, but I got your handle on the bottom. It says DJ Bien-Aime on X, and then obviously on Instagram it's the same as well.
And on TikTok, I'm transit. I'm
shit.
Too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
you just joined TikTok.
Yeah. No, I'll be on TikTok now. I'll be posting stuff on TikTok.
Okay, cool. I'll make sure to follow and repost your stuff, man. Because because
Twitter is dead.
Yeah, it's transitioning, dude.
Yeah,
man, I didn't know a damn thing about TikTok, and so I started doing this, and I just started posting stuff. And I don't know how my shit blew up, but it did.
Yeah, like I mean, more people just on TikTok. Like more people on TikTok, and Instagram, and like my mom was on TikTok. My mom was on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom is not on Twitter. My fiance is on. She loves TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like people just are on young people are on TikTok.
All the stuff starts there first and kind of like finds its way. It's
literally. Like TikTok again. You don't have to follow that many people to be able to get stuff on your feed. Someone says Twitter's successful. Yeah, it is. TikTok, you can literally follow nobody and just be swiping and get all kinds of cool content to watch. What was that last comment? What matchup should be fun? Leggett and who?
Also Leggett and Tim McMillan versus Sting.
Listen, Leggett versus Sting gonna be a snooze fest. All right, we need to see Sting versus T-Mac. Leggett versus Sting or Kamari, that's a snooze fest unless he's going deep, because he's not really. I won't get too deep into like the whole like route mechanism, all that from what I've seen, but it should be Ted, Adam Thielen versus Sting and Lassiter. In all honesty, if I'm being honest.
Well, Thielen's gonna be in the slot. He'd probably be on Petrie. That'll be a good test. He's not like a speed. He's not as fast as he was or quick as he was, but he's a solid slot receiver.
He is.
But no, that's dope. I don't know how I didn't think about that matchup. So thanks for shouting that out. I'm excited now.
Definitely, yeah. No, I mean, tomorrow gonna be fun. I'll be there.
Y'all make sure and follow DJ. He's, he provides all the content he can, play by play, all that stuff. I'm sure y'all do. But
you think Higgins is better than T-Mac? Jaden Higgins? Hey man, T-Mac was cold at Arizona, man. We'll see, bro. T-Mac was cold at Arizona. Like I'm all in on T-Mac.
T-Mac's. Yeah, people are kind of down on him because of character stuff and this and that. But like, end of the day, dude, if you're a baller, you're a baller.
Yeah, literally.
He's different, man. Yeah, I'm scared of him. Like, he's a guy like you just throw like a younger Mike Evans, like a Vincent Jackson potentially. Just throw it up and just make something happen, bro.
And he got wiggle too. Yeah, like he just kind of got up.
He's like a hooper out there, right? I mean, every now and then you get these bigger guys that move like a hooper.
Yeah. He's bigger guys. I just want to see, can you separate just enough? Like you don't got to separate.
Yeah.
You got to separate just enough. Right. Then you got, the freakers always like Julio Jones, Nico Collins, who like they move like they 5'11", which is just not fair.
Yeah, that's insane. And then I agree. Leggett, like He hasn't been quite as what they wanted. He seems more of like he's big, but he's more of like a straight. He doesn't have that wiggle you're talking about. So,
Nope.
which I thought he was an X receiver. I guess the Texans did the same thing. I'm super analytical. I didn't see us going and getting Higgins and running 2 X receivers. Essentially, they're doing the same thing. They got 2 big body receivers. So I mean,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have big body receivers than do what Miami trying to do with them little itty bitty receivers. That's for sure.
Facts. Well, cool. I'm gonna hop on, but DJ, you're welcome to leave whenever you're ready. But man, I appreciate the insight. I'm sure everyone here does. We had a lot of people tuning in, man. So,
No, I
and if you ever
appreciate
need
y'all.
anything, man,
Appreciate you
just let me
having me
know.
on, man. You know, anytime, bro. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah, maybe we'll collab more and maybe get like a segment going, just quick updates or whatever. But
Nah, for
uh,
sure. Yeah, nah, for
appreciate
sure.
you. And
Now I'm about
but
to go spend the rest of my night watching TikToks with my fiance.
that's what it's about, baby.
All
All right, see you,
right.
DJ.
All right. See you tomorrow.
All right. All right, guys. Yeah, that was fun. DJ wants to hang out a little bit. Yeah, if I miss anything, just it was tough to get to all the comments when you're having a conversation, but obviously we wanted to hear his opinion. DJ is dope, man. It's awesome to hear his insight on stuff. Man, he's a great guy, sharp. He knows the game too. It's like he's also a former receiver, which is what I was too. I didn't produce at a high level or whatever, but playing the position of receiver at a higher level gives you a pretty good understanding of offense. So like him and I see eye to eye on like schemes and coverages and routes. This guy should do that. So it's always cool to hear his opinion. But yeah, if y'all got any questions before I go out, I may normally I kind of chop it up longer, but it sounds like we got most of the hot topics addressed between then. I will say, obviously, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify tomorrow, whatever day it is, appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, comment. But if y'all don't on here, if you do the same thing, if obviously same as always, on this video, like it if you're on YouTube. Follow me on all my platforms, either at Houston Stressens or Texans Commenter on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I'm probably going to start a Twitch soon and try to integrate that. I'm sorry for the IG comments. I didn't get to y'all, so thank y'all for tuning in. TikTok live streaming suspended me again. I don't know why. I guess they don't like great content. I don't know what the deal is, but if y'all haven't noticed, I've been like, at least this week, I'm gonna keep trying to do it. I don't know if it's because I had more time in my hands or I'm just hype about football, but I started writing a ton more. So if you don't, please subscribe to my newsletter. I sent out like a dope newsletter with like everything, bro, like everything you need to know. So, and obviously y'all probably follow me on platforms and see all of it, but like it's a different way to consume content. But like, look at all this stuff I wrote in the past 3 days, bro. I mean, they've been busy. So, I mean, Jalen Mills, CJ Stroud, NFL top 100. I have an article that's in depth of, I did a preview for the game. I did an in-depth review of the game. But what's cool about this too is like, you may see my content, but just like the preview right here, like I embed a bunch of tweets. So it's like a one-stop shop. I mean, you'll get any piece of info you need, bro. Like I use all the different, people reporting on stuff. Obviously, I clip all the stuff, but I mean, look, you got maybe not quite as many clips, Twitter deals on here, but I just feel like it can add value, and you can just subscribe up here on the top right for free. I'm also working on an app. I don't know if it'll be for sure or not, but I figured, I think this is like a great opportunity. Like, and I've been slowly trying to like work on it when I have time, but to have like a one-stop shop ecosystem where we have all the news, all the videos, all the content creators, a directory you can click on any person and watch all their stuff embedded, a forum, and you can transfer over content. Obviously, we are, on our own apps like Twitter and whatnot, but I think it would be dope to do something like that. So, yeah, if you get a chance, check it out. Yeah, so to subscribe to my newsletter, you go to www.houstonstressens.com, which is stressans.com. And on the top right, you see a subscribe button. Just click on that and put in your info. And then also, I make merch too. So I am redoing my store. I got my stuff from last year. I'm working on a new 713 shirt right now with CJ Stroud and Christian Kirk. I'm working on a Nick Casario shirt. I'm working on a D'Amico Ryan shirt. I'm working on another CJ shirt that says blessing on it. I got a Nico shirt. I got Aziz punching Roshan Johnson. I got Derek Stingley. I got If They Ain't With Houston, Will Anderson Jr., Hawk and Locke. I got a bunch of stuff on here, and I'm about to roll out a bunch more. Um, and they're good quality too. Like the shirts I use are comfort colors, good prints. I mean, they last a good while. They're durable. And like if you ever have an idea of like a shirt, like a design or a player that you want, let me know. But I mean, this whole site, like even like if you want to just look at content now, you click on videos. I embed all the videos from YouTube that are relevant because I'm already looking at this stuff. So while I do, I just flip it over. But like right now, like my interview right there is there. Like my social media stuff's on here. Um, the mic'd up with CJ Stroud today's on here, which is dope. If you haven't watched it, check it out. All the recent interviews are on here. So like if you ever need content, boom, like rather than go and find it, it's a one-stop shop, bro. And um, I'm gonna, I need to read. And if people start to use it more, I'll make it to where these playlists are more refined, where like each player has their own playlist. Right now, I got a handful, but I can really kick that up too if that's a service that you guys like. But and then links, I believe, is going to be like this is the directory I was talking about. So if this is an app, this you could click on this and then have all their stuff embedded. But as of now, it's basically like a link tree for everybody. So yeah, and then what else is there? The forum, like I feel like that would be better if we can kind of get that with an app where you can come on here and make posts. It's tough. I haven't been pushing it, but you basically click this button up here. You can create a profile. It's free. You can add all your stuff, and then you can start engaging on here. Maybe I'll do like a giveaway to kind of boost it or something. Who knows? But yeah, and then be on the lookout too. I'm starting to like partner with like different companies with fantasy and this and that. And it's all kind of have some like promo code stuff to hook you guys up, and that'll be a way to like give back to me because I don't make pretty much anything doing this. I just love it. It would be nice to make money on it to allow me to sustain spending so much time on it, but as of now, like every dollar I make, I put back into this. I also use it for like subscriptions to like PFF or like NFL Pro stuff like that. So CapCut, like it's I'm basically treading water, but I put a bunch of time on this. So appreciate you, Rich Boy Jay. He says he just subbed. Thank you, Forrest McWhorter. You're killing it as always. Keep it up, brother. We really do appreciate your content. Thank you, man. JJ Sugar, a Nick Casario shirt. Please tell me if it's the meme face of him. I want to do that, but I don't want to piss him off. Tell me if this is. I'll probably post it before, but like I was thinking the bear meme from the show The Bear, where the chef is standing there, and it's like the meme when someone cooks, and I was gonna do that and put his face over it and say like "Cook Serio" or something. Let me know if that's cheesy or not, but uh, yeah, the one with his eyes glasses. I mean, it's funny. Like I feel like I may have made it the top search. Like, but when you search his name, it's not working right here. But yeah, if you Google Nick Casario, why is it not working? Whatever. But yeah, if you Google Nick Casario, it's the one with his like old square face and the glasses. Um, and then let's see. Brandon says the T-shirt of Casario telling the NFL this is bullshit. That would be dope. And Nosh asked if I think Mixon will play week 1. DJ said he doesn't know, but like me, random guess opinion, I'm more optimistic. I'm leaning more yes than no. Like just based off his prior history, he's never played in the preseason since 2021. Last year he practiced like not until the last week. Remember we were all tripping about him not practicing. Got 2-3 practices in, boom, hit the ground running. To me, I think he might have gotten something done. I don't know if it actually happened off the field or not, and they just said it that way so they can put him on the NFI or list or whatever it was to help the roster. But I suspect he's fine. Like he was walking around in a boot at his camp or without a boot. He's, I think he's fine. I think they're just resting him. And then someone says, "Oh, thought it was stressing." JJ Sugar, he probably want that shirt. That's monetized. Yeah, that's true. Probably hate me. The meme face facts. And then JB says, "I just started bringing the bear in season 3, episode 5. I'm all for bear inspired teeth. Dope." So yeah, I'll just shout out some people that tuned in. Let's see, Jordan on X, Engineer, obviously. I got JJ Sugar, got my usuals. Love you guys. Appreciate tuning in. Dot on X, DQ, Sideline Sarah, Alberto. Who else we got? BG, my guy. King Colby, Engineer, JJ. Keep scrolling. There's a Panthers fan that came in here. We're about to tear y'all up tomorrow. But yeah, most of the usuals. I appreciate y'all. Y'all were very interactive. Nosh, I appreciate all of you guys. But yeah, that's all I got. Unless you got anything else, I will be there tomorrow. If y'all are there tomorrow, just send me a DM if you want to meet up. I might try and stay a little bit after, maybe say what's up to some people. But King Colby says if you do a shirt like that, put "Let me cook" on the top, or "Let him cook." And then wow, Spartacus, Orioles had the first walk-off win of the year to beat the Mariners. Blessing. So now we're up 1. And so for the Astros, real quick, I think they're starting their run right now. Like the hater news sucks. Of course, same old thing. It's never a clean, clear injury or diagnosis. There's always a second opinion. There's always worse. Hopefully, hater's fine. Sounds kind of concerning. But like aside from that, like I've been thinking, before the All-Star break, we overachieved in my opinion. That was good. Like we were winning with minor leaguers. And then like right around the All-Star break and just after, we started to fade off of that and like regress back to how it should have been, lost some. And then, then we had players come back and then trades. And that was the Red Sox series the first time. And we got swept, but we were all, assuming that as soon as we got that injection of, players coming back and new talent, that it would click right away. But, it's taking time for them to get going. But like now all that's clicking. And now the pitchers are coming back. Javier, Arrighetti. Now you got Correo, Urias. What's the other guy that's been balling? Why can't I think of his name? The guy that's hilarious. And then obviously, we got Pena's been back, but he, kind of took a while to get back. So I think the Stros they're making their run right now, bro. And it's kind of good to be hot and then lull and then now have to ramp back up into playoffs rather than just limping into the playoffs. But I feel like they're about to make a run, bro. But my big concern with them, obviously, hater. But before that, and still is that 6th, 7th inning guy. And I was tweeting at the game, like, if we don't have a starter go 6, 7 innings come playoffs, it'll be tough. I mean, there's a lot of guys like Bennett Sousa, Brian King, Okert, the other guy, the same name pretty much. They're all good, and I feel like they're like 2 to 3 ERAs, but I feel like they're guys that were never like expected to be great, and like they may be overperforming. Also don't know about them in big spots. But, like LMJ coming back, Luis Garcia coming back, JP France coming back. Some of those guys could now displace a starter into some of those, 6th, 7th middle relief guys. So that's kind of where I'm looking at on that. So Jester Matt, good chat. Thanks for your time. Appreciate you. And then JJ Sugar about to tear up tomorrow. You got that right. Facts. I try to say it in a non-pause worthy way. So I think I avoided saying something pause worthy. Brandon Halam says, need a Casero shirt that says, what do y'all want? Wide receiver or DB? And I was going to do like a Captain Kirk shirt. Was that cheesy or corny? Like, what are your ideas for a Christian Kirk shirt? Like him as like a pirate, finding like a way to make it cool. Let me know if you're blessing or stressing on that. Maybe a Farmer Gronk shirt. I just thought about that. That would be dope. Cade Stover with like running through a cornfield or something crazy. That'd be a good shirt. There's got to be a shirt for Nico and Higgins, Twin Towers. Like if Higgins starts balling, make a Twin Tower shirt. I don't know. And then maybe or J and J, Higgins and Noel. Y'all tell me the ideas. We'll workshop it, and if someone makes the design or we workshop it, we can work a split. Like it's not crazy money. I mean, you make a little bit of money on each shirt, but I mean, it's more for me to like get stuff that the fans want, and it's affordable. They're like $30. Oh yeah, let him cook would be better. JJ Sugar, Stros are in a tight spot. Would be sad if they fall all the way off. I think that they're going to do good. Crime Watch on YouTube. How is Jakob Johnson? To me, he looks good. In the preseason game, they use him a lot early on in 12 personnel, 2 running backs, and he was balling. D'Amico talked about him, having a running back being physical, setting the tone, pushing guys back, and he's doing just that. He's blowing up the holes. Rich Boy J, Christian Kirk shirt needs to be him in a Star Trek outfit, LOL. King Colby, a Captain Kirk Star Trek shirt. Yes, yeah. Okay, I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but maybe I'll make that. Captain Kirk would probably be dope. I'd imagine he'd laugh at it. Yeah, and I make it too where I scrub, stuff on it. But Will Anderson's mom bought some shirts of him from me, and his sister wears the if they ain't with Houston shirt. So I mean, they seem to be cool with it. And if they ever say anything like, I'm like, hey, I'll take it down, whatever. But yeah, no, it's been dope. That was a great convo with DJ. I'll be there tomorrow. If you're there, hit me up. Let's link up. And other than that, man,